When I started reading my Bible, the thing that I looked for was myself. I was looking specifically to answer the questions that I had. I was looking for the Bible to help me with the things that I was dealing with. And I don't know if that came from my own like self-centeredness, or maybe it was I remember there was a song that came out when I was in my early 20s called Basic Instructions. The Bible means basic instructions before leaving earth. And so like, hey, this is my instruction manual for that. And the Bible does give us specific instructions of how to live and how to interact with people and how we should treat other people. And so when we read it for ourselves, we can actually find something. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with reading the Bible that way. But there's another purpose for the Bible. And it's probably the primary purpose for the Bible. And that is, the Bible was designed for God to tell us about himself, for him to tell us his story, and ultimately, if we read the Bible from Genesis all the way to Revelation, what we see God's love story of how his perfect plan from the garden all the way to the great city at the end, of how he loves us and how everything got messed up, and then his plan for redemption through Jesus, and that one day we will all live in perfect harmony together with him for those of us who believe. And we find that in the Bible. So when we go to read the Bible in just our daily reading, even if whether it's a verse or a chapter or several chapters or even a whole book, then what we need to do is we need to say, okay, what is this passage trying to tell me about God? What is God trying to communicate to me about himself? Now, there's some scriptures where that's totally obvious, and there's others a little bit more difficult. You got to work on it, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good practice. And so you learn more about God as you read from his word.